Thanks for coming to our Vinyasa class. We are going to start in a laying position, but when you do get to your laying position, we're going to stretch out the shoulders at the same time. So bring your palms to face down. You're going to bend your elbows and just kind of tuck your arms and wiggle them in until you get like a moderate sensation that's going to be manageable for you to sustain for a few minutes as we center. With the arms tucked in behind, we are looking for the shoulder heads to roll inward. We don't want to force anything. Finding a sense of surrender at the same time, relaxing your shoulder blades. Allowing your eyes to get heavy, maybe even close. Stretching out your breath so that it feels more fulfilling. As you stay with your inhale and exhale, see if you can find a sense of equalizing, a steady pace with each round. Start to wiggle your arms out. Reach them overhead. Shift the shoulders, the arms, and head over to the left side, followed by your feet and legs. Ending, we'll take the left hand to grasp your right wrist and possibly crossing your right leg on top of your left. Embracing the opening through the right side of your body. See if your shoulders and hips can sink a little further. Releasing. Let's walk ourselves through center and over to the right side. Ending with the right hand, taking your left wrist, grounding down through your shoulders and hips, maybe taking that cross of the left leg on top. A harmonious breath flows in and out. Releasing your side bend. Come back to center. Draw your legs in. Hands come behind the thighs. We'll rock the length of our spine a few times, getting enough momentum and eventually coming right into a tabletop position. In table, kind of more of a free range cat-cow here, creating a circular motion with the trunk of your body, finding more of an intuitive place here. Switching directions of that rotation in your trunk. Finish the one you're on and return to a neutral table. Spin on your left knee, take the toes off to the side and curl them under. Right leg reaches back like warrior two. We'll roll open into a variation of side plank. Feel strong as you widen your bottom hand, stacking your shoulders, firming that straight leg before floating it up. Return the lifted leg down. Actively lift with that right hand. Rise all the way up into gate pose, finding that side body stretch on the left. Brace your hips forward. We're going to pivot into half split from here. Top hand returns down to the mat. You're going to turn to face the back of the mat and pivot those left toes back on. So we're going to half split, right leg forward. And then you're going to bend the front knee, shift the hips. And then you're going to glide them back into that half split. And then take it forward again. We'll connect the breath. Exhale as you glide back. And inhale to take it forward. The next time you're moving forward into your low lunge, pause. Scissor the legs towards one another before lifting your chest, taking your hands to that front thigh. Inviting some shoulder work in. Take your right arm overhead and reach your left arm down. Bend your elbows and then just work the fingers towards one another. They do not have to clasp because immediately we're going to come out and then find this shoulder work coming in the opposite direction. So coming in and out of these Gomukhasana arms. Notice what's happening at the head of the shoulder as the arm moves from up to down. We will pause. Next time, left arm is overhead and the right hand is down. Take a few breaths. Hug your elbows towards center, fingers possibly clasping. Release your hands to frame your front foot. Take it right back into tabletop. And we'll spin on that right knee. Left leg will reach towards the back of the mat. We lift the arm up into that variation of side plank. Stabilize through your contact points. And then we're going to float that back leg up. Feel the outer hip work. Return the lifted foot back to the mat. Reach up with that left arm coming into gate. Keep bracing your hips forward. As we close it down, we're pivoting into half split. Inhale, breath, take it forward, bending your front knee. And exhale, we glide back. Match the movement with your breath. Next time you're shifting it forward, pause. Really firming up through your legs before lifting your chest. We'll take the right arm overhead, left arm down. Let's bend the elbows, crawl the hands towards the ribs. And then coming undone, we switch sides. Move in and out at your own controlled pace. Staying strong through the lower part of your body. Next time your right arm is overhead, we will pause. Possibly latching the fingers here. Hugging your upper arms to center. Release, hands lower to frame your front foot. This time we'll step right back in, downward facing dog. Allow your hips to buoyantly rise back and up. Big step with the feet to the top of your mat. Lengthen out your spine. And then folding down into your legs. Rise up to stand. Bring your arms overhead. Reach up high. And lower the arms down to your sides. A few rounds of Surya Namaskar A to warm the body. Breathe in. Lift your arms. Folding on your exhale. Forehead drawing into your shins. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, step back, bend your elbows, lower to hover. Breathe in, upward facing dog. Breathe out, downward facing dog. Wide fingers and toes. Press from your shoulder blades, feel your arms get longer. As you breathe in, step or float your feet to the top of the mat, half lift. Folding on your exhale, lift your lower abdomen. Inhale, rise up to stand, reach your arms above. Stay standing. Exhale, lowers the arms. Again, breathe in, lift the arms, reach high. Folding from the hip, exhale. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, step or float back, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Pull your chest through your arms. Exhale, downward facing dog. Set the pace for your breath. Keep the back of your neck long. Look towards your navel. Think light. Inhale. Step or float your feet to the top. Folding. Breathe out. Inhale. Lift your arms overhead as you stand up. Stay standing. Exhale. Lower your arms. One more. Breathe in. Lift your arms up high. Folding as you exhale. Inhale. Half lift. Exhale. Step or float back. Chaturanga. Breathe in. Upward facing dog. Breathe out. Downward facing dog. Firm your thighs as you press the front of your hip creases back and up. Think light. Inhale. Step or float your feet to the top. Half lift. Folding as you exhale. Rise to stand, arms move overhead, lengthen the sides of your waist. And stay standing, exhale, lowers your arms down. We'll bend the knees, sink into the hips, lifting our arms overhead. Allow your tailbone to be heavy here, really strengthening up through your arms. Right into Bakasana, hands connect to the floor, knees, find the back of your upper arms or even the armpit area. Fill into your upper back, get light in the toes, possibly squeezing your heels into your glutes. Last full round of breath. As you exhale, step or float back, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Step your right foot forward. Lower the back knee down, sweeping your arms overhead. Keep pressing the front foot down. We'll lower the right arm, reach the left up and over. Invite a subtle twist as the bottom hand seeks the back thigh. A cartwheel with the hands, left hand under shoulder, right arm coming to stack on top as you float up the back knee. Come into side plank, rolling to the blade of the back foot. Right leg can come back halfway, stack on top, or lift. Arc up high through your hips. Good. Top hand comes down. Option to keep that right leg in the air as you move through your vinyasa, connecting the top of the foot and up dog. And we'll step the left foot forward. Take that back knee down. Strong legs as you lift your arms overhead. Take your left arm down. Welcome that side body stretch. Subtle twist. Bottom hand seeks that back thigh. A nice circular motion with the arms. Right hand under shoulder. Let's float the back knee up, lifting into that twisted lunge. We find our way into side plank. Any variation will do. Top hand comes down, possibly keeping the left foot in the air as you move through your vinyasa. We'll take the right leg back and up, bend into the knee, open your hip. Closing the hip, let's roll forward, bring the knee to the nose, pause with shoulders over the wrists, and then reach that right leg back and up. Bend the knee, come forward, take it into the right armpit, and then back and up. Cross body over to the left, back and up. This time, placing the foot between the hands. Let's rise up into crescent lunge. Before pivoting the back heel 90, open up warrior two. Really settle in here, find your breath. Tailbone heavy like gold, creating that subtle activation into your lower abdomen. Straighten into your right leg, turn the toes to the long side of the mat. Folding, hands move under your shoulders. Take that breath in for a half lift. Exhale, we walk the hands back, work into the fold, optional headstand. We're here for about 5 breaths. Keep your breath strong and steady. If you're up, start to float your way down. Take a breath in for half lift and breathe out right there. Let's turn the heels in and the toes out. Start to bend your knees. Reach the arms wide and overhead. Let's straighten into the legs. Reach up nice and high before bending your knees and settling back in. Widen your shoulder blades and lift them up. And place the hands on your waistline, straighten the legs to stand up, and turn your toes back to face the long side of your mat. Squeeze your elbows back and breathe in, lengthening the sides of your waist before folding at the hip on your exhale. Continue to squeeze your elbows back. Crown of the head lengthening down to the floor. Keep grounding through your feet. Inhale, breath will rise you back up to stand. Turn your right toes forward, bend into the knee. We'll sweep our arms out parallel for warrior 2. Turn your front palm to face the ceiling. Take the back hand into, wrap around that front hip as you welcome the side bend back again. Taking it in for side angle, you can bring the forearm to the thigh, or right hand comes below the thigh. We bind the hands and lengthen the crown of the head away from the back foot that's pressing down. Good. Release the hands if you have the bind. We're all placing them down. Walk that right foot off to the side, and the right arm is below that leg. Possible arm balance here. Think of chaturanga and the arms. Start to shift the weight forward and possibly kick the legs up. And then we can take it back. Chaturanga into up dog and then down dog. Float the left leg back and up now. Let's bend the knee, open the hip momentarily before closing it off. Draw that knee down the midline, shoulders over wrists, and then stretch the leg back and up. Left knee, left armpit, keep it high, squeeze. Good, shift it back. Coming across body, keep pressing from your shoulders. Good, take it back and up. And this time we place the foot between the hands. Stabilize the lower body, reach your arms overhead, and then we're going to open right up into warrior 2. Settle the breath. Stable through both legs. Keep long in your spine, lifting from the ribs. Good. Straighten your front leg. Turn the left toes to the long side. Folding down, hands connect. Breathe in, half lift. Exhale, we'll walk the hands back into the fold again. Option 2, invert your posture here. We'll lengthen out one more full breath. If you're up, start to come down. We'll all breathe in, find that half lift, and exhale right here. Turn your heels in with your toes out, bending into the knees. Reach the arms overhead, coming into our goddess. Good, relieve the legs momentarily. Let's stand up. Draw the kneecaps towards the hips. And then we're gonna sink right back in. Strong in the upper body still. Really wrap the triceps forward and lift from your shoulders. Tailbone is heavy here as well. Hands come down to frame the waist. Squeeze your elbows back and straighten your legs. Turn the toes forward and hinge at the hips, folding down. Equalize the weight throughout your foot. Scoop up your lower abdomen to find more of a fold. Anchoring into your feet. Inhale, rise to stand, and exhale when you get there. Turn the left toes forward, bend the knee, arms go back out, warrior 2. Taking the right forearm into your lower back. See if the hand can wrap around to the front hip crease. Sweeping overhead into that peaceful warrior. Coming into a side angle variation, possibly binding the hands. Hug your upper arms towards center. Good. We'll release the hands down. Walk that left foot over with the leg around and starting to bend into your elbows, possibly taking it up into an arm balance. We'll step back, chaturanga, move into up dog, and then downward facing dog. Lower your knees down to the mat, find tabletop. Right knee stays bent. As the leg starts to lift back and up, arch your back. Think of reaching the toe towards the crown of your head. And then you're going to round, curl into yourself, knee to nose. And then you're going to open, back up, squeeze the shoulder blades down. Good, round, curl into yourself. Open and arch. Round and squeeze it. Last one here. Open, arch. We're holding. Reach your left arm behind. See if you can grab a hold of the big toe side, and then we kick the foot into the hand and open up. Long, steady breaths here as we enjoy opening the front side body. Good, release, back to tabletop. Left knee stays bent, lift, arch your back, toes, seek the top of the head, and then round, curl into yourself, lifting the front side body. Open and arch, round and curl. Good, open and arch, and we'll round and curl. Open and arch to stay. Right hand reaches back, taking a hold of the big toe side of the foot, kicking. We start to open up. Keep that left hip point facing the floor, leveling out your pelvis. Good. We'll release back to tabletop. Take your hips high and into downward facing dog. Right leg draws back and up. Let's bend the knee, open into the hip. Rolling forward, find pigeon. Wiggle the left toes back. And instead of, if you're used to like creating more of a 90-degree bend in the front knee, this time we're going to take the heel a little more towards the front left hip. Now sit up tall, recreate that scissoring action in your legs and a lift through the center of your pelvis. Coming to bind possibly. The right hand wraps around, possibly getting a hold of that big toe. See if you can keep the chest facing forward as opposed to turning off to the side. And start to arch a bit more through your back. Start to squeeze the back heel towards the glute. And if you're feeling stable, that left arm can reach overhead. You can also start to bend the elbow, leaning back, possibly seeking the big toes, maybe not getting them, just freelancing like I am here, enjoying that big front line opener and a strong back line contraction. One more full round of breath. Good. Let's release. Step it right back in. Downward facing dog. And some free movements to wash that out. Left leg goes back and up. We'll bend into our knee and open the hip. Take it forward into our pigeon. Wiggling the right toes back. Really focusing on that uprightness. Lifting through the center of the pelvis. We take our left hand behind, wrapping around towards that front hip, possibly taking connection with the toes. Good, settle in, breathing deeply here. Welcoming in that back leg, squeeze the heel towards the glute. If stable, that right arm can also start to come up. There's an arch taking place to the back, a lot of balance. Last full breath. And we release right back into downward facing dog, free movements. Turning your toes out, walk your hands back and sink your hips down for Malasana. Active here, engaging the glutes, lengthening up through your spine. Good. Walk it back out into your downward facing dog. Taking the right leg back and up, bend the knee, open the hip. And then this time you're coming forward, but you're only going to take this knee about halfway up the mat, lower it down, and then you're going to set up for Gomukhasana legs so that you're going to take the left foot on the other side. Now situate into your hips. Those sit bones are connected. Inner thighs are rolling down. And we'll reach our arms up and overhead. Bend your left elbow, crawl the fingertips down the upper back. And we'll lower the right arm down. Crawl the back of the hand up and possibly connecting those fingers. Making some micro adjustments as you need. With control, unwind your arms and place the sole of the right foot down so the knee lifts. Now twist towards that leg, possibly hooking the outer arm to the outer leg. If you want to try another bind, you can wiggle the left arm in and take the right hand around to grab a hold of those fingers. As you brace down through your hips, use that as leverage to work into your twist. We'll release, come back forward, and step back into downward facing dog. Left leg backing up, we'll bend the knee, open the hip. Coming forward, bringing the knee about halfway up the mat. Draw the right knee in behind and sit back. Adjust your legs. Balancing between strength and flexibility. Reach the arms up. Bend your right elbow, start to crawl the fingers down the upper back, and we'll lower the left arm down and behind before walking the hand up to seek the fingers. Deep breaths. Maintain a connection within. Subtle lift in the center of the pelvis and lower abdomen. Unwinding your arms. Bring the left foot to connect to the mat with the knee up and work into your twist. Possibly binding the fingers. We'll unwind and just slide the feet out so that they can touch at the soles, opening the legs. Breathe in, sit up nice and tall. And as you exhale, hinge at your hip, folding into Baddha Konasana. And we'll rise back up with the chest, lowering onto our back. We're going to set up for bridge or Urdhva Dhanurasana wheel pose. Holding for a longer duration, we'll lift up just one time. Preparing for where you are going and lifting as you inhale. Anchoring down into your hands and feet. Stay connected with your breath, lengthening out your inhale and exhale. One more full breath in. Staying for your breath out. Returning all the way back down. Pausing for a moment. Taking your arms and legs wide. We find rest. Allow the soft tissues of your body to relax. Notice the natural rhythms coming back to your breath. Are you able to relax your physical body further? Take a few more tender, sweet breaths. Intuitively moving into your body again. Eventually finding your way into a seated position. We'll sit tall and collect the hands in front of our chest. Take a moment to honor your journey, both on and off of the mat. And I thank each of you for coming to get a little bit sweaty with me this morning. Namaste.